All right, all right. Welcome everybody to our WiiM training webinar. Thanks for joining us today. I am Mark Garagino with 21st Century Distributing, and we have a good one for you guys today. We have WiiM, which offers high quality, feature-rich, and affordable audio and smart home products. Some of you guys out there might know about WiiM, some might not, but I can tell you that they've made waves in our industry, and we're excited to review their products and even give you a peek into what's to come with WiiM. So training us today, we have Steve Willenberg, who is the VP of Sales with LinkPlay and WiiM. If you have any questions, please go ahead and type them into the Q&A. We'll get those answered after the training. We also have a few poll questions that we would appreciate you answering as well. I'll make that go live as soon as we get started here shortly. And just as a reminder, this training and all of our webinars are available on our 21st Century website. We have them recorded, so you can jump in and view them for either yourself, your employees, your teammates, to review on our virtual conference center on our website. So again, we're really happy to have Stephen here to go over WiiM with us. And without further ado, Steve, take it away.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it and hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day. As Mark says, my name's Steve Willenborg from WiiM. I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I'm actually going to start with some of the things that from a corporate perspective that people may or may not know about WiiM and more importantly, LinkPlay. The LinkPlay Technology Corporation, we're a U.S.-based company that's headquartered out of Newark, California. And we've been around for about 11 years now. So we've started out in the systems integration business. And as you remember, 11, 12 years ago, Alexa was the rage. And really what Alexa meant for the Amazon Corporation is Bezos wanted to get it in terms of all of their products. So they started what was called the third party initiative, and LinkPlay participated in that third party. And we built electronics and modules, software and firmware for a variety of different brands, including companies like Harman, like Yamaha, Audio Pro, Marshall, et cetera, et cetera. And then also a lot of devices that weren't audio related, i.e. smoke detectors. There's a device, the First Alert smoke detector that says Alexa, or bath fans for Home Depot that had our hardware and software and firmware in it. So anyways, what happened was, some of the things that Amazon was trying to do from a third party, didn't come to fruition. People weren't, ordering things off of Amazon. Question?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, so people weren't ordering things off of the Amazon website like they had hoped. And so Amazon, what they did is they slowed and then eventually stopped supporting the third-party device initiatives. So LinkPlay, as a systems integrator, we looked at what we did well, and we did software, firmware, and hardware, and we looked at what the devices we have. With all the companies that I just mentioned, over 10 million devices out in the field that we still support, and most of the devices were used not to order things off of Amazon, but they were used for content, music services and streaming. So we decided to come out with our own brand and our own streaming type products. WiiM stands for Wi-Fi Internet Music. It's kind of a play on words. You can spell it forward and backwards. And it took, really what we did as a company very, very well, which is software and firmware. And we use that as a pillar in terms of trying to build a business. So what I'm going to go through are 6 different areas. We'll go through some of the, product value propositions and keywords of what, WiiM is about. We'll go through, some of the design highlights that we try to incorporate in all of our designs. We'll go through products, both the consumer and the CI products, because there are some nuances that I want to point out. A little bit about the home app, and then really where we'll spend a fair amount of time is on we just announced 3 new products at the Munich High-End Show, and we're pretty excited about getting them into the market, into your hands. So when you look at what we're trying to do as a company, innovation, customer satisfaction, one of the things that we learned early on as we were working with these other audio companies and other companies that we did the systems integration work in, is that the user experience was important, but what they really didn't do was, when there were problem or issues, they really didn't address those problems and issues because the product had already been sold. With WiiM, when we brought the brand out, we wanted to learn from that, and really we wanted to make sure that user interface and that customer experience was extremely high. We value that. It's very important. So there's a feedback loop in the app that we'll go through in a little while, but make sure that if people have comments, your customers want new features, we need that feedback. And we take the opposite approach. Every issue is important to us, and we want to solve that problem for the individual consumers. So, we continue to drive, the innovation and user experience. One of the reasons we have been pretty affordable in terms of the pricing of our products versus competition is that, because we had these 10 million devices out in the field, we work with the chip companies, the Qualcomms, the Allwinners, the MediaTeks, and Amlogics, and we had scale of economy. So that allowed us to provide some pretty good value in terms of, the price to performance of these products. So there's really 6 staple things that we want to make sure that all of our products have. As I said, it's got to be user-friendly. If it's not user-friendly, it's really going to be a problem for people. It's got to have exceptional sound. I mean, we're in the audio space. Our products have been targeted at the high res audio, and so we're going to continue making sure that that sound is extremely important, and then using the smart features. The other thing that people have is, everybody's emotional about their personal libraries, their music, et cetera, et cetera. We want to make sure that we can not only stream the content, the Spotify's and the Qobuzzes, et cetera, but also the personal libraries. Multi-room, smart audio, that's one of the key features of our products. And if you've used our products, it's a really nice process in terms of the app to go through and set up, what you want in the various rooms. Just as a little side note, people always ask, well, how many rooms can we set up? And to date, we've heard one location has 52 different rooms that they have set up. So that's kind of the top tier of people setting up their multi-room systems. And then, the last 2 is, making sure that the high res and immersive audio is a high importance. And then, we're driving towards, home theater. And I'll get into that a little bit later in terms of, even not only the 3 products that we just released, but also some of the things that are coming up shortly here in the next couple of months. So from one of the things that was a nice output of, going from, if you will, a no brand in terms of being a systems integrator to being a brand, i.e. WiiM, is there's, we signed up for a number of awards, and we were very lucky and honored to receive a bunch of these awards. We're going to continue to participate in the awards, because it validates us in terms of, we're making sure that we get that feedback from our customers and make sure we understand what our community wants in terms of new products. So I'll go through these. This is our consumer product line, and this is where it kind of started. The WiiM Mini was our first streamer. It had limited capabilities, but at the very, very compelling price point, it did a lot. It really was the the foundation, if you will, of our streaming products. Like any evolution, it always evolves. And one of the things that we wanted to do from, once we went from the Mini to the Pro Plus, et cetera, is we wanted to add features and functionality, the step up of where we were at, and add more things to that product in terms of, not only the audio aspects of it, but also, the connectivity and, some of the features and functions within the content side. So when you got into the Pro, it added Google Cast audio, it had Ethernet, so much more connectivity, but still, again, high res is where, we really push the boundaries to, is make sure that all of our products have that. You get to the Pro Plus, we added a remote, a better DAC. When you get to audio quality, DACs are very, very important, as you know. And one of the things that we've learned about DACs, and I've been in audio for a long, long time, is DACs are a lot like wine. People like Cabernet, people like Merlot. In DACs, some people like ESS, some like AKM. It's just a kind of a personal preference. So we use a variety of DACs, and ESS has really come forth with a lot of really good DACs, and we're using them extensively. But we have just met with AKM, and they're also coming out with some higher end stuff, so that we're going to be looking at utilizing that in some future products. When we gravitated from just streaming products to streaming and power, we came out with the WiiM amp. So one of the variables that we wanted to keep was the shape and the ID and the look of the product. Again, it's got a really good feature set in terms of both power and the ability to stream the various content. HDMI capable, HDMI ARC for TV audio. So again, we're adding features and functions with this. This product did have the step up ESS 9018 DAC, and really was a very, very solid product. When you get to the Amp Pro, one of the things that we did, again, when we're learning about the various features and functions of each of these products, is not only, again, going back to the DAC, there's a step up DAC here, but also in terms of the mechanical hardware. We made sure that, there was better filtering, better reliability in terms of heat dissipation, et cetera, et cetera. And that will stay continuous even through to the CI products that I'll talk about in a little bit. But this is a very, very solid product. And, again, depending upon your taste in terms of DACs and, what you want for your system, it's a step up from the amp. The streamer that really kind of is the hallmark and the really are one of the core products is the Ultra. It really has been a really good product just by the functionality. It does a lot of really, really good things in terms of, the ability to bring out high quality audio, and then the sound, again, is something that we really want to make sure is important. And, one of the features that we do from a corporate perspective on all of our products is we update our software and firmware every 2 weeks, as you probably know. It's important to us, and not only do we fix bugs and things that make the app experience better, but we also make sure that we can add features and functions. We added room correction a few months ago. We added bass enhancement. There's a few other things that are going to be coming up, including YouTube Music. We're going to be adding that in the next couple months. We're waiting on them to finally certify us. And so that'll be in addition to the whole lineup. So then what we had a long relationship with Audio Pro, and we worked with them on a WiiM edition. They had brought out two products, the A10 and the C10. and it's built around the WiiM OS platform. Very, very good. We wanted to test the waters in terms of, what people like in terms of speakers, because going from the digital domain, i.e. amps and streamers, into the acoustic domain, i.e. transducers, tweeters, and woofers, you really want to make sure that you do things right. So this allowed us to, work with a partner who's been doing audio business for a long, long time, audio products, and really get to learn what was, important to the customers that, had these products from an experience perspective. The other area that we looked at as we were building our business, our focus at the onset was to build. 2024 for us was about building a portfolio of products. 2025 was really about extending those products and filling out the portfolio. And one of the areas that we looked at, which is different than a consumer product, is what we call the CI line. It's the custom installation line of products. We only have 2 products in this category right now. We have a streamer and an amp. And they're based still upon the features and functionality of the WiiM OS system, but there's some nuances that are different. One is the mechanical part of the product. Both of these products are rack mountable, and we want to make sure that they really address some of the things from the CI channel that we've learned. We have, from a little bit different from the consumer product is, the ultra low noise clock, power, and circuit design. We optimized it. We improved the tolerance of the components within the electronics. And the reason why we did that is, when we were talking with the end users in the CI space, reliability was extremely, extremely high. I mean, reliability for consumer products is high, but when you get into, custom installation line, it costs money for somebody to go out and have to replace something. So we really, really wanted to make sure that we had a step up in terms of reliability. And not only does that include, the electronic components, but again, from a heat dissipation perspective, we even optimized it on the A80 amp, even more so than what we had done in the amp and the Amp Pro. From a home automation perspective, it supports Control4, Elan, RTI, URC, Josh AI. We are working with Crestron, and Savant is down the road, but Crestron, we're in active certification with them. So these are very important products, and at this point, from a inventory perspective, due to the tariffs, the CI line, we've got lots of inventory. Unfortunately, the consumer product line, we don't have as much, but we're working through some of the things, and I'll talk with Mark offline on that. But the other aspect of the CI product is that, in 2025, as I say, we are building out, our portfolio of products. And in 2026, we're going to take another step up in the CI space and extend into multi-room formats in terms of getting these products out into, various form factors and such. So one of the hallmarks of what we do is, in terms of the user experience, is our app. We feel it's very, very user friendly, and we continue to get good feedback from our community on that. And we have a very strong community, and I would highly recommend, if you haven't been on some of the blogs or the social media, jump on some, because they're very, very insightful, and people are passionate about not only our products but the audio products in general. So, here are some of the highlights. It's an all-in-one app. What we try to do is have it be very personalized. Everybody likes what they want. You don't like what I want, but you like what you want. So there's, very, very personalized features and functions that you can find within the app. Smart home automation, and then, some of the tools that are within the app. There's a variety of different things that you can do with this. And with software, as I say, if there's something that you see within the app that's not to what you want, or if you want to add features or functionality, please use the feedback loop within the app itself, and make sure that you let our team know, because we're very, very adamant and enthusiastic about making these changes. So one of the other areas that due to our experience within supporting the content side from the 10 million devices that we have out in the field is we're very, very close with all the streaming content services. We're one of only 2 companies in the world that can self-certify to Spotify, but Qobuz, Tidal, TuneIn, we're really, really close with them, and we believe that we've got most of the content. But again, if there's a provider that you're looking for your customers, we have no problem doing the integration and bringing them on. The sound customization, as I said, has been a feature not only when we added the room correction, that baselines, and it's a nice feature for you doing a room correction. We're looking at doing some step up, and I don't have the details just yet, but in terms of room correction, adding something more like a Dirac system. So, it's a feature and function that people really, really love. So not only the sound customization, but the room setup and the ability to, again, make sure that whatever you're listening to in whatever environment is at the expectation that you want. So we really want to make sure that we're doing that through these various functionalities. Immersive soundstage, and making sure that the performance, if you will, as I said, audio is very emotional, and people love doing what what they love most is listening to their content in the location, the environment that they feel comfortable with. So one of the things that we are going to be bringing on is Dolby 5.1. So that's going to be forthcoming in in Q3, late Q3, early Q4. So you'll be able to get this experience with our products. And with that, we're going to segue into the 2025 products lines. So we just announced 3 products, 3 additional products at the Munich High-End Show, as I said, and we're pretty excited about it. We announced a little earlier this year the VibeLink amp. The VibeLink amp was actually an amp or a product that was brought on by customer feedback. Our community said, "Gee, we want something to support, a powered amp to support the Ultra." And so we came out with the VibeLink amp. It's a perfect complement to the amp or to the Ultra, and it's a non-streaming amp, but it's got some really nice features. The other thing that we have brought out is a remote. It's an aluminum case remote. As you know, in our original remote, is plastic. Well, it did a fine job. The remote too has a better feature or a better feel to it, and it has a couple more features in terms of voice and some of the button architecture. What we announced at Munich was the WiiM Sub Pro. This is an 8-inch finished subwoofer. It's got 250 watts at a pretty good THD level. It's got a satin finish, and I've got one that I've been testing for the last couple of months. And as I said, I've been in the audio business for 25 plus years, and this is a really, really good product. I think that you'll like it, and we're finalizing the pricing on all of these products. We had it set, but with all the things that are going on from a material perspective, we should be able to finalize pricing on all these products in the next couple of weeks. The natural extension for the Ultra, as I said, we came out with a VibeLink amp to marry with the Ultra. earlier this year, and so we needed a step up product that married the technologies, the streaming service, if you will, or the streamer with the display into a powered system. And we came out with the Amp Ultra. It's going to be 100 watts per channel into 8 ohms. And again, it's got all the feature sets and, the heat dissipation characteristics that we've taken the lessons learned from, our past products and employed it and deployed it in here. The other thing that we announced was our WiiM sound speaker. It's a natural progression for us. One of the things that we're very, very cautious of was going from the digital domain into the transducer domain. So we did a lot of research and a lot of testing on a variety of different products. So we got extremely good feedback when we were in Munich. The WiiM sound does have a display, which resonated really well with the customers that we did talk to. And this will be the first version. We will have a WiiM sound without a display, so you can use it as a rear channel, or if you want to mount them, on the ceiling or, up high where you don't need a display. So, that flexibility is really what we're looking for in terms of this product. And that will be available. These 3 products will be available in probably the August, early September timeframe from an inventory perspective, but we're actively building as we speak. And then the other thing that we will be coming out in Q4 is, focusing more on the home theater space. And we'll have a 5.1 amp that supports Atmos. And, that will be, again, our what we're trying to accomplish in 2025 is to extend our range. And the Amp Ultra will do that. Because at the end of the year, what we are going to be bringing out is our WiiM soundbar. Again, it'll support Dolby Atmos. We're dealing with the final design and what we're trying to accomplish from that soundbar. So we'll get some information into Mark and to your hands, so that if you've got comments and things that you want to see within that product, especially the 5.1 or the WiiM bar, we would love to hear your feedback. So there's some details in terms of all the various products. I went through most of them, but you'll be able to get this presentation. And really what we want to be able to do is make sure that, we're in line with what the customer expectations are. So as we go through these, as you go through these slides and you look at the products, feedback is just so important. So reach out directly, either through Mark or directly to me. And, I want to make sure that you guys are getting the products that you need.
Yeah, very good, Steve. Really appreciate it. A lot of exciting things to come. We do have some questions here.
Sure.
I want to go. Some of them actually were answered by some of our team, and want to go through here. Apple Music, is Apple Music coming or in the talks with that for music service?
Yeah. We there's probably going to be that question, and also AirPlay too. So we are in.
Next question. Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of the same answer. We're in constant communication with Apple. We want to bring on Apple Music. It's been a feature and a function that we've tried to bring on since the onset of WiiM. Being a new brand and the size of the company that Apple is, frankly, we're just not a priority to them at this point. But as we gain more and more momentum, we're really hoping that they'll allocate some resources and allow us to bring on Apple Music. From an AirPlay 2 perspective, we were, as I said, we brought on AirPlay into millions of these devices, and then contractually, the agreement ended, and we've been in negotiations with them over the last several months to try to get that updated. We work with them on a weekly basis in terms of reporting, doing some of the stuff that they need. When we weren't allowed to bring out AirPlay 2, it started with the Ultra. We had a decision as a company. Our focus is on high-res products. AirPlay is not a high-res feature. So instead of holding off until we can get the contractual things taken care of, we decided we're just going to go ahead and bring out these products. AirPlay is going to be, in our future. I just don't know when.
Okay. You also touched on Dirac for room calibration. I don't know how much of that you went into, but if you could elaborate a little bit more on that, that would be great.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're the feature and function technology agnostic. So Dirac has been a really good, supporter of ours, and we've worked with them for a long time on a variety of projects. So one of the things that we're looking at is, bringing out our room correction. Is a really good, what I would say is a baseline room correction. Dirac is a step up, but there's also a cost associated with it, and that's what we're trying to work through. Is from a business model, does it make sense? So as I said, we're in conversations with them, and we'll continue to have dialogue. I can't say when a product will come out, but it'll be something that we're looking at. And if your customers, by the way, have comments or thoughts about that, we would love to hear the feedback.
Yes, very good. Let's see here. Keep going. NAS drives USB. Yes, you guys support
yes.
NAS USB. So yeah, going into the new products. This is a good question. I know that you said 5.1. That's going to be with the new amp. How does it support 5.1 with Atmos? Because wouldn't that be more channels? Did you mention Atmos with 5.1?
Yeah, the amp will support 5.1 Atmos, and so
2 additional channels, right? Would be 5.1.2, I guess.
Yeah, you can set up the system, and the one thing that's really good about our app is that, and we showed it at Munich, is we had a 5.1 set up. Actually, we did it with a variety of different products to showcase the capabilities. But you can set up a 2.1, 3.1, 5.1, with the setup functionality of the app itself. Really, it'll support whatever setup that you want. You can even add to do, a 7.1. So, the core 5.1 Atmos is really what people, want, and that's what we're driving for.
Here, somebody asked about eARC balance that work. I know we have Bluestream that will work. I don't know if you have any other recommendations for eARC balance.
No, I don't. That's something that, again, I would have to take a look at. If you've got a specific application, get it over to me, and I'll get our field application engineers. We do have a local, from a corporate perspective, we do have a field application engineer that located in California. Mark, you should have his number, but if not, we can share it with you. So if there's any problems, from a field or an application level, I mean, Jimmy is really, really good. He was going to be on today, but he came up ill. But it's somebody that is a resource for everybody to contact if there's any problems.
So with the new soundbar too, you'll be able to essentially create a 5.1 with soundbar and an amp for rear channels.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. The last thing we want to go over. Thank you for bearing with us here. I know we're new with the CI models.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick overview for the main differences with CI compared to Pro. because we do have the CI models in stock. So a quick overview with that would be fantastic, high level.
Yeah. From a functionality perspective, they're pretty close, but there's a lot of very important distinctions. One is in the electronics. Again, the CI market is about reliability, making sure that these things are highly reliable. So we stepped up in terms of tolerance bands. Each of the electronic components, whether it's capacitors, resistors, et cetera, have a tolerance band. So we tighten that tolerance band so that the product is more robust from that perspective. The heat dissipation in terms of making sure that there's sensors, not only hardware sensors, but software initiated sensors to make sure that if the product gets hot, it starts cooling down more effectively over time. So not only from an electronics perspective, but also heat tubing and, some of the internal heat sinking capabilities. And then from, really the big thing from a commercial perspective is these products are never going to be sold on Amazon. So, we wanted to stay away from, trying to do any kind of, what we're worried about is, people doing and saying, gee, let's go over to Amazon and see if we can get it cheaper. And these products are not going to be ever sold on Amazon or online. We want to keep it for the custom installers. And again, our focus for 2026 is going to be on the CI space. So if there's things that you want to see from a product perspective, we really, really would love that feedback.
No, very good. We will give that to you, Steve. We really appreciate you joining us here today. A lot of exciting new things coming out down the pike for WiiM. So we appreciate you. We stock WiiM, especially new CI products, at all 7 locations, 21st Century Distributing, and we appreciate your time, buddy.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you guys at the next show.
One more quick question.
Sure.
How do they mount in a rack side by side, one space rack? They come with rack ears, right? Various models.
Yeah, well, they've got what they are mounting screw bosses on the back, so they don't come with the ears. There's a lot of mechanical ears, if you will, that you can mount to it. So we didn't preload it with that.
Got it. Perfect. We got them all answered. Thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, John.